However, before we do anything, let's try to find out why user 23 has less than 10% of their original credit line left. Or, in other words, would have all other 90+% of that money been spent on? Well, if we scroll back up to the upper portion of the page, we'll notice a link on the top right corner, reading History. Once we click it, we'll move to the currently logged-in members purchase history page. As soon as we land the purchase history page, we'll notice the upper left corner indicating who is still logged in. It is no other than our friend user23. We can scroll downwards to get to the actual transactions. This purchase history listing has two portions worth reviewing. First off, statistics. In here, we'll have two elements. Card count, which reads 4, and card size, which reads 2.83 GB. The second portion is called Details. This reflects related contents from the Transactions database table according to the currently logged-in member's customer ID based upon their member ID, which is 2. Thus, we'll have the specifics of all items or products ever purchased only by user 23. At the bottom of this listing, we'll notice the total worth of all items or products combined. This amount, made up of $799.99 for one license of Visual Studio, purchased nearly a year ago on December 24th of 2013, plus $400 for one license of CorelDRAW from a day later, plus $79.78 for two licenses of Norton Ghost, and $90 for three licenses of Virtual PC 64, both purchased today, would be the grand total of $1,369.77, which explains what user 23 has been spending most of their money on. Underneath, we'll find a link called Deal History, which would bring us to a page spot just above the title of Purchase History, in case the listing has grown longer. It appears that some of the elements on this Purchase History page might look very similar to other equivalent elements from the shopping cart listing on the Product Selection page. This is so because the application uses the same product detail listing-oriented functionality in the code to support handling both. We'll scroll back up and click the Products link to go back to the Product Selection page. Looking again at the upper left corner will tell us that user 23 is still logged in. We'll scroll downwards to the shopping cart listing. This time, we can attempt reducing the shopping cart total by tossing one of the items, say Visual Studio, out of the cart. This item has an item ID of 194, so we'll click the Remove Action link on that row, which will send a cart item remove request to the custom01products.aspx page with the number of 194. Let's take a look at the code behind the scenes to observe how the application is actually tossing this item out. The function to be called would be db table shopping cart shrink that can handle either a decrease or a remove requests. Having verified that the item in question actually exists in the pending orders database table and returned it to the local variable of is there, we'll proceed to asking whether or not the function caller has made a decrease request. Since this is not the case, the function will take the alternative path, meaning the one of tossing. So next, we'll be running a delete query for item ID number 194. As it seems, one row has been affected. Furthermore, looking at the pending orders database table, we'll notice that Indeed, the row that had previously contained item data for item ID number 194 was tossed out of there. Back to user mode, where the shopping cart listing now reflects the new overall content of the pending orders database table and only lists 2 items, minus item number 194 that has just been tossed out of it. Nonetheless, it seems that having tossed out an item has not done much in terms of fitting the amount due within the available funds. Therefore, we'll scroll back up, log out, and log in again, this time as user number 2 of 2, who has a lot more money on their credit line.